Hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth Box. I'm here to interview my dad, Eric Stephen Box, author of Wingover Wendover series of books. But before the interview, some excerpts of Wingover Wendover, read by the author, my dad.
Timmy had been asked to take Wendover, his prize peregrine falcon, to a Renaissance fair. His English teacher, Mrs. Tyler, had set up the day. He would have his own booth, dress in old English costume, and answer questions about falcons and falconry. Mrs. Tyler also told him to smile a lot as the people passed by. He even had a pretty good English accent, too, because his sophomore class had just finished doing Shakespeare's comedy, A Midsummer Night's Dream. He had played the part of Nick Bottom, a would-be, could-be actor who gets a spell put on by Oberon, the fairy king, and is turned into a donkey. His hee-haw got lots of chuckles from the crowd. He had rehearsed a lot with Sarah, who played Titania, Queen of the Fairies. Her character was also under a spell and was now in love with him, or as reality would have it, with the donkey. Hee-haw! Sarah was a girl who was a friend, but he was working on combining those words. It was a warm day at the fair, and the barbecue meats, strong, rich coffees, and old-world scents like patchouli filled the air. Wendover sat quietly on his perch, cocking his head from time to time. Every so often, someone would come over and want to pet the bird or ask a question. A popular inquiry was, "How much does a bird like that cost?" Timmy always responded with, "He's priceless." The day was winding down, and Timmy was tired. He looked forward to flying Wendover. He hoped there would be some ducks on any of the ponds on his way home. He would like to see Wendover do his peregrine magic. On the drive back, he went from pond to pond and spotted no wild game. It was going to get dark soon, but Timmy decided to try one more place. The Bartlett Ranch was a main staple on his list of hunting grounds. It was natural cattle land that had never been touched by human plow or chisel. Lots of ducks flew into the ponds on the property, and pheasant abounded. And as he drove up to the gate, he met the caretaker, Dan. They shared some words and a warm handshake, and Timmy found out that Dan had just seen a couple of pheasant down the road around the berry patch. "If you get down there right now, I bet Wendover will catch dinner for you," Dan said. Timmy rushed down the bumpy road to the berry patch. He secured the telemetry, turned on the receiver, and heard that old familiar beep, 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 then struck Wendover's hood, lifted him high over his head, and curled his glove hand slightly as he let Wendover fly. "Now this is what I've been waiting for," Wendover said to himself. The falcon wasted no time climbing up into the sky and shortly reached a good pitch. Timmy let Roxy, his pointing lab, out of the truck and looked up to find Wendover straight above him. The falcon commanded the sky over the pheasant. He was up about 1,000 feet now and still climbing. Roxy locked onto the game bird. Her tail wagged twice as hard when she found a bird in the bush. Timmy waved his hat at Wendover as a signal to him to pay attention. Wendover looked down and waited for Timmy to flush. The hunting team was in place. "Go get him, Roxy!" Timmy kicked at the old rooster, and Roxy pounced, and the pheasant knew it was time to fly, and the bird exploded into the air and flew hard and fast for cover. There was another berry patch about 300 yards away, and the bird arced in the air, looking over his shoulder at the falcon and trying to get to the safety of the bush. Timmy looked straight up and shouted, "Wing over, Wendover!" Then he watched as Wendover stooped down towards the pheasant. Timmy ran in the direction of the hunt, but something went wrong. He tripped and fell to the ground, bumping his head on a smooth but large rock. All the lights went out, and Timmy lay there unconscious with his falcon in a stoop on a collision course with the rooster pheasant.
In your third book, Timmy gets sent back in time to King Richard's day. How did you come up with that idea?
I think that I can't ever get past swords, and I like kings, and one of my favorite kings is King Richard I. And when I thought of a new Wendover book, I thought of Timmy bumping his head and going back into a time warp, and he was my first choice and first king to go to. So it was a lot of fun.
So you wrote a full-length musical of King Richard called Heart of the Lion. Was that an inspiration for Wendover Meets the King?
It was. I have an affinity for swords and kings, and one of my favorite kings is King Richard I of England. And yes, I did. I wrote a full-length musical based on his existence and life, and coming back, and Robin Hood is in it, and all other sorts of characters that we all know and love.
Check out Eric Stephen Box's blog at wingoverwendover.com. On Twitter, he will be feeding everyday events in real time of Wendover's flying season, and Facebook too. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the wonderful world of Wingover Wendover.
We love Wendover!